Hello, Alicia Clark-Teper back again. 40 days healing is often done in silence. And I am here on Sunshine and Magic 123, my YouTube channel. Today's topic I wanted to get into was feng shui and color therapy. I have been participating with feng shui since I was a young girl. And funny little story, my mom was an interior designer. And so my desire for feng shui did not often coincide with her desire for design. And so we would be at war about where things would be at. And she'd come home and I'd have it changed around. And then I'd leave and come back and she'd have it changed around. And I could deal with it for a little bit of time. And then I'd have to rearrange it. And there was always a push and a pull for that for me. And she just understood that I needed to have the change in dynamic. And so oftentimes now my husband comes home and I just get an again, and I have moved things around. I've shifted things. The energy needed to change. I felt a little stale in the space. Rearranging pictures on the walls and bringing in different colors to allow that room to have a new energy to it, and moving around all the trinkets that you have, and rearranging the plants, and allowing for different things to be in place. And so all of that is dealt with feng shui. So it's FENG SHUI. And feng shui is a principle of design and energy that is attributed in the Asian culture. And so they have something that's called the bagua. This might be backwards depending on my camera, and I apologize about that, but I just pulled this off of the internet, and it is a little chart. I also have over here on this picture the list of the bagua as well. And so what that does is it associates a color with a location. And so when you place these colors in the location of your rooms, of your home, they amplify the energies that are there and associated there. And so when you're trying and attempting to make the most harmonious type of energy happen in your life, you want to amplify the positive energies and have in there the elements and the goods that will help to increase that, as opposed to being the opposite elements and dragging you down, or creating an energetic conundrum for you. And that can happen sometimes. So like if you have a room and there's a cutout in the room and you're missing that space, putting a mirror in there to allow the space to look different and bigger can help alleviate the cutting energy that has in a space. Showing on here, so when you walk into a space, depending on where it's at, 1, 2, or 3, because there's usually only a wall where the door can be in 1, 2, or 3 places along that wall, it's divided into 9 squares. And then each one represents a different portion of the elements, a little bit of the I Ching, a little bit of the color spectrum, a little bit of patterning and family. And so we don't always realize the alignment that we can have and can maximize by using principles that have been around for centuries, and channeling that energy in and allowing that to assist us in moving forward. And so I would offer you the ability to look into feng shui and see how that can help you. Again, there's something called the bagua. It's a little chart. It shows you the 9 locations, what would be good in them, and why. When I say what would be good in them, the colors, the type of things that you have in there. So maybe that is a so the pink down in this corner, pink right here, pink signifies earth, mother, receptivity, the abdomen, female organs, and breasts. And so in that space, that's also considered your relationship space. And so if you were to have singular things in there, very tall, linear things, but only one of them, or you would have a set of things, but they would be clear across the room from each other, you are not creating the synergy of the two people together in a relationship, which then increases that togetherness that's there. If you have two things in there set opposite something, that means something is going to be coming in and dividing them. And so simple practices like that can help you to implement and activate energies into your world. When you come into a room and you look in, and in the farthest forward corner and to the left, that's your wealth and prosperity section. And so whenever you're looking into that section, which would be this corner right here for me, and this corner, a number one, is Ganesh right over top of me, the remover of obstacles. Number two, you can kind of see this painting, but this is my portal painting that I did. That is just an energetic window for me over top of my altar. This is my altar space back here. So putting that in there to call in wealth and prosperity and amplify all of those energies, following in the colors to those locations, allowing in multiple layers so that the energy works for you and with you. And then with that, I'm also just someone who loves to help organize. So the ability for me to come into a space and see how it can be cleaned out and used and moved around and made more effective and useful, and the energy to circulate with positivity is a strong suit of mine. So if you at all are interested in an organizational consultation, feng shui, color therapy type consultation, reach out. I would be more than happy to talk about that. sunshineandmagic123@gmail.com. And then with the talking about colors, the bagua will help you with colors, but it's also where maybe switching the color up and calling in a new energy into your space just by simply swapping pillows and throws and pictures can bring in a whole new energy and allow a reinvigorated sense into the space. Switching around plants, allowing them, they help us breathe because they take in our carbon dioxide and we breathe in their oxygen. So by moving them around and switching that allows us to receive in different ways as well as the plant to receive in different ways. So keeping those things in mind, I hope that you work through clutter as well. Woo, I forgot to talk about clutter. One of my favorite things to help move through. And when we have clutter, it is stagnation. Areas that just have piles and piles of magazines and bills and letters and old things, they begin to collect dust, and then they stack up, and then they stack up a little higher, and then it gets a little sloppy looking. And then, but if we're not going through those things, that's taking up valuable energy and space in your life. And so a periodic move through of those energies is strongly recommended. So I probably would say at least once a quarter that you set up some time to go through your things and move them around and reorganize and set up a system to put things away. But if you could do it once a month, that's fantastic. But I know that we all don't have time to keep that organizational system up. But clearing the clutter, only having things around that really make sense and mean something to you, and you know that you'll do something with in the future, those are amazing. If you look at it and you're like, why am I keeping this? Then recycle it, move it on, allow somebody else to find the treasure in it. That is also part of feng shui. So I hope that my talk about color and clutter and organization and how to move the energy in your house if it feels really stale and stuck has helped and resonated with you. And may the rest of your week be absolutely fantastic. I look forward to the next time that we get to connect. Have a good one.